Okay, so today I made a bold move. I moved my appointment up. I'm going for it. I'm just gonna, I was like, well, I would have a few $100s left after I paid the doctor, and I'm not behind on any of my bills. So, well, I mean, the house, but that's not really a bill. That's just a tug of war over who has rights. Um, but um, like I was like, I can just skip my different bills. I mean, there's like insurance will come out automatically, and it's ridiculous. And in my phone, I got to pay that. But like electric and water and my car payment and stuff, so I could even make 2 payments next month. So, or the month after, I mean. I'm just putting all of my money into the surgery, and I already changed the appointment and everything. So I already got it set. So 4/23 now. And to me, it seems even better because the surgery is at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. So I don't have to spend the night down there. And I can go down in the morning like how I did before. And the surgery center's in the same building. So I just got to get into that same building, which I should know the way now. It shouldn't be any problem. So I have to leave in the morning, around the traffic, drive down there. I'll probably leave pretty early and get there like an hour early or something, but whatever, just sit around down there, take a book or something. I could record, take my stuff, sit out in the car, record or something. I don't know. But anyways, once I get down there, then and I gotta be there at 12:15, they said, for a 1 o'clock surgery. So then I'll still have all that time of getting prepped, getting back there. Then they'll have to put the shots in and wait for him. And then once he does the stuff, though, it should be really quick, and then I should be out of there quick. So I would think by 2 or something, maybe 2:30, I should be driving home. It should be super fast. They shouldn't waste much time. I don't have to go to recovery, any of that shit. It's just like you don't have to do any of that. Just go in, get it done, and go. And so then I should be able to drive home before the traffic gets too horrible. And you can drive yourself home because you're not on anesthesia. So, and I already I got out all these out all these bottles. I had a whole bunch of bottles, so I got out all these bottles. I filled them all with water, so I have a whole bunch of smaller water things, so I don't have to lift up heavy things. And then I'll get a new water thing on there, so that'll be set. I'll go fill my waters, and and I have enough food. But I'm gonna go to the food bank. I decided. I was like, fuck it. The food bank's right there. I'll just go to the food bank, get food there for the next few weeks. And I've got enough food anyways that we could live for a month easy. And so anyways, I was like, fuck this. I'm going to do it. I'm just sitting around here anyways. There's nothing to, I'm not doing anything. I can't go out and spend money or do anything. So I got to so it kind of makes it go faster. So I kind of hurry, get to the appointment. And then after that, then start healing. I won't be able to do anything for a few weeks of, like you can't pick up anything. I cut a hole in the fence for Stella. I just like cut a little slot, and I was like, okay, I'll just lift this back, and then we'll just let her go in and out of the neighbor's yard. So then she feels like she's going and doing something, so I don't have to go walk her. I got all the water set up, and then I'll have my tea stuff and Stella's food. I think it'll be fine. Well, I know it'll be fine because it's already done. This is like, I just kept thinking, I don't know, I just kept thinking about it, and finally I texted her, and I said, is that the soonest appointment? If I pay sooner, can I have a sooner appointment? And so she said, yeah. I don't even know why they said that, because they told me that was the soonest appointment was in May. So I don't know. If they open up more appointments or there was a cancellation, or if they give you a certain amount of time and for you to pay. But I was like, fuck that. I'm just going to pay all my money, just like if I was going on vacation. If I was going on vacation this month, I would dump all my money into that and go without for all the time leading up to it. When I got home, I would do the same thing. So I was like, fuck, I'm going to do it. My health matters. And I feel super excited. Oh my gosh, I can't believe how excited. Because now it's totally is down to days. Because on Monday, it'll be the 1st. And so then it'll be 23 days. The 23rd day, I'll be getting it done. And then I have a bunch of appointments. Like I have to pay 2 different things. And then I have pre-op appointments and stuff like that. So April, because I kept thinking like, fuck, April is going to drag, man. And how tense. Like there's so much stuff going on. Fucking banks could collapse at any moment. And right now it seems like there's nothing. It seems like people just keep talking about the same thing over and over and over and over and over. Diddy. And I see so many different things. I mean, they've got AI people as Diddy. They've got people on the run. They've got Jay-Z being like I don't know. It seems like absolute chaos. And who even knows what's real and what's not real or any of that. So anyways, they got that whole thing spinning out of control. And the Baltimore, people just keep talking about Baltimore and keep being like, well, I really think, that doesn't make any sense. Like they keep trying to convince themselves. Like it's so hard to convince themselves. Yesterday I got in an argument with one of my daughters. I was just like pissed. And it was, she called me and she was saying something about, the Nickelodeon thing, like how that's just woke so many of them up, because they were all watching those shows. And so now they're all like, oh my God. So they are all waking up, and I've been talking about this stuff for a long time. And so, we all know that, like, we can't just go like, I told you so, I told you so, I told you so. But I kind of was doing that yesterday. I was trying not to, but so she said, she was talking about that. And I said something, I said, what's even worse is that that all those people are really, it's like what Kanye had said, that they are really like those people. And she was like, oh my God, no, you are not going to say that. And she started making like I was like some sort of bigot again. And it's like, okay, bullshit. I said, you don't even know. You haven't even looked any of this stuff up. So you don't even know who it is. I've looked this stuff up. So it turns into this argument that I'm a racist because I'm saying the bad people. And what gets me too is like when you say the bad people are all blue, you're not saying all blue people are bad. It's like, what are you talking about? Like I can't say. So if we say all those Italian gangsters, all those Italian gangsters, they're all bad guys. Well, then we're saying like every Italian is a bad guy. It's like, I swear to God, the narrative that they have so fucking controlled. And I was like, oh my God, it really turned into this bickering back and forth where we were both just like, I sent a message. I said, I don't want to talk for a while. I was so fucking irritated. Being, called a racist, or, I'm not calling you racist. I was like, so you're saying you haven't been calling me a racist for 3 fucking years? She didn't say anything. Well, we just need to not talk. And, she said that, I said, oh, okay, so how are you raised? You've already said you would raise us very different now. You're a completely different person. I was so irritated. And I'm not going to sit and argue with them and fight with them. I was just like, we need to not talk. I was like, this is bullshit. And I was just like, boy, the truth can't come sliding in fast enough, man. Like, and I know that they're going to feel bad, especially for how, like, I know it's going to hit them hard because of how they have looked at me through this and how they have treated me and talked to me and stuff, and I know they're going to end up feeling bad. I was like, well, you got the government on your side. You don't need me. You don't need mom. Like, who cares about me? I'm just some crazy old lady who has brain injury just sitting out in the forest by myself. Fuck it. It's like, you just trust the government. You go on ahead, girl. It's like, I like, it really is pushing us to the end. Like, it is very, very irritating. Like, it is really hard to talk to people who it's like, you're just trying to have a conversation. You're having a conversation about this thing, and they're all in now. Like before, you're a completely crazy fool that you're saying anything about this. But now I've seen it. So, okay, now, and then you say something else, and it's like, okay, you're crazy. It's like, okay, did we not just go through this? Did we not come to a different point now? Like maybe you could sit there and think, especially what gets me is all the stuff I've been saying is right. Like, where are you finding things that I've been saying that aren't right? Like, so I don't know. I'll just be glad. I'll be so glad. I know the truth is going to hit some people hard. It's going to hit them really hard, but fuck, I'll be so glad. And you know what I was really seeing too is, you know how like sleepwalkers, and so sleepwalker, and I don't know what state of consciousness they're in or something, but they're in a different state of consciousness. They're up functioning, but they're not in the present reality, and yet they're up doing stuff like what we're experiencing now. All these people aren't present in the present reality. They're living in an artificial reality that was created for them, and they're holding on to it so tight. And even as the things are pulling, it's like skinning them alive or something. It's like pulling them apart. And so whatever they're looking at, the fake reality. So in the fake reality, and what the fuck was I gonna say? Well, you can't talk to the people who are in the fake reality because they believe something that is not real. And when you try and talk to them about stuff, it doesn't, like, it's the weirdest conversations. And then to spin back and jump on the fucking script. As soon as you say something out of turn off the script, then you are a racist. Every time. Oh yeah, so it was the video I did earlier that was saying about what was it? Oh, that drives me crazy. And another thing too, I'll tell you another thing too, is like the stuff with the filters. It was just really getting me today. Because there's this new filter that is a redheaded filter, and it's called Ginger or something. And so it's like bold glamour with red hair or something. And so all these girls are putting it on, and they're all putting this red hair. Some are going in. There's going to be, you watch how many girls go dye their hair red. They're already starting. And so they are putting this on, and then they're looking at themselves, and they think like it matches them. They're seeing like, oh my God, I look so good with red hair. Oh my God, I look good. And so I went and did it, and was trying to show like, this is not like your regular face. It is changing your face. And not only is it changing your face so you look at it and like it, but it's changing the skin tone. And red hair doesn't go with everybody's skin tone. So there's going to be all these people running and getting red hair because I don't know how these filters are causing such mass confusion in people's minds. It's like they don't know what they look like. It's like they absorb themselves into the filter. They believe they're the filter, and then they go look in the mirror and they're dissatisfied. Like the mirror's failing them. And it's like, no, the filter is fucking with your head, and it's making you disappointed in your real face. It's a setup. It's there to create insecurities. Like, why would anyone need to put on this face that takes your face and makes it perfect and takes all your features and makes them more enhanced so that you look better? And then it takes out every little fucking, it's like it smooths, it makes you look like a doll. And I bet all these people, they put on these filters that make them look like cartoon characters too. Like, I don't know, there's something wacky. I thought it was wacky when all these people were putting on these 60s and 70s filters, and then they thought that that's what they would look like. How would your face change just because you were in a different era, like because you wear your hair different? The only thing that is different is how people wear their hair or their makeup. Like, you don't change your face. The people's faces were, I was watching this movie this morning with Steve McQueen and Lee Remick. And every time I see these movies with Steve McQueen, I have to go look it up. It's like, how old is this guy? Like, some of the times he looks like he is so much older than what he is. And I was thinking, I think I think it's kind of like people's faces, like before, especially, because there's some other ones. Like, I saw an old movie with Suzanne Plachette, and she's supposed to be 16, and she looks like she's 30. And I was like, I don't know, because I just saw another movie with Steve McQueen, The Blob, and he's supposed to. It's so weird too, because he looks like this fucking adult man who would go pick up his kids at school or something, and he's supposed to be playing a teenager, and the way he talks and, well, come on, man. We're just trying to have some fun here. Like, it's just like, it's so weird. But so I don't know if people really did kind of look older. Like, I just think things are out of whack. Like, I think that we like, our faces age to a certain degree, but then it shouldn't keep going worse and worse and worse and worse. I think that is when you're just not taking care of yourself. I think so much about aging is just this giving up, surrender. I'm getting old. Who cares? I just want to have fun. I don't want to take care of myself. I just want to drink some alcohol and eat some expensive foods and stuff. Like, some people get like that. They just don't give a shit, you know? So I think and I can't believe how many people that I say, I'll tell them, and it kind of bothers people. Like, oh, okay. Yeah, sure. Okay. It's like, okay. Okay. I mean, I don't know, how can you get people to understand that they're killing themselves, they're aging themselves, they're not taking care of themselves, that you can make changes, but everybody's comfortable aging. Everybody's comfortable with this concept that they created. And, I say it's time to get uncomfortable because I think it's like, well, there's the aging thing is going to go away. The aging thing's going to go away. Same, the government's going to go away. All this stuff is going to be going away. So I don't know. It's just weird. I just told somebody, because I had noticed that their hair was white and their husband's hair is white. And I think that well, they could be like 10 years older than me. But all the different people, I've told so many different people, and nobody, I don't know, on TikTok, people get really into it. There's tons of people buying copper cups. They're all jumping in, ready to go. Everybody wants to get younger. But what was it? There was something still I was going to say about a video that I had done. If it wasn't about, man, I wish I could go off and pause and move around. Like, when you're recording, you're kind of trapped here. But, like, when you're doing stuff in your phone, you can just move that over there, go over here, look over there, go back to that one. So sometimes it's like, well, I could just go over there, but it won't work. And try and go back and see what videos did I do? What was I talking about? But let's see. There's definitely weird sky ones. You constantly always see weird sky ones. There's weird weather thing going on in California. There's a whole shit ton of earthquakes right outside of Oregon. And Oregon, don't forget, is the place that they were watching. That was in the science magazines that I'd seen. I don't even remember because this was a couple months ago. But all the scientists are out outside of Oregon because there's something big going on. There's like holes coming through the ground that is like, it's got bubbles coming. Something's going on where they're watching. Like, there's a big shift happening. And so there's been a bunch of earthquakes by Oregon. Now we got this other big storm coming. There's been some earthquakes. I saw Weather Daddy talking about earthquakes in California, but there's also, like, in Sri Lanka or some big earthquakes, like in a couple different places, like 6.9, 7.2. So there's a lot of rocking and rolling still going on. And but that stuff isn't going to stop. Like, There's going to keep being disasters. There's going to keep being people dying and losing things. This is all, but just don't get caught up in everybody else's storyline, because it can be overwhelming. Like, oh my God, this is happening to them. This is happening to them. That could happen to me. That could happen to me. But really, it's happening to them because it's supposed to happen to them, because it's their storyline. It's part of what they're here to work on or fix. Or it fits into their plan, whatever their lessons are. So, because it can be overwhelming when there's so much shit going on and so many bad things happening to people. And I swear to God, we're right on the verge of something. Like that fucking bridge was no black swan. That was like a lead in. That was like a warm up. Like whatever they're going to do is going to be big. It's going to be like, I don't remember how many people died in the towers, but it's going to be something like that. And none of us know, where it's going to strike or where it's going to be or what's going to happen or what chaos is going to accrue after. Because, whenever this thing goes down, it can go straight up into total chaos. That's when the power can go out. In some of these places, there can start being a lot more with the criminals. Like, they're going to come out at night. And right after I just said that about the stabbing, I said, you better watch out, because there are going to be ones going down the street stabbing people. Yep, that just happened too. And they killed like 4 people and injured like 15. You watched. You're going to fucking be going around with goddamn machetes, with axes, with fucking hammers. Like, it's going to be violent. It's going to be real, like that primitive violence. And it's like some of these girls that live in the city and stuff. It's like, man, I swear to God, I would be turning my purse into a fucking weapon. Like, those ones like that take out the giant, like they swing around, boom. Like, that's what my purse would become. I would have it fixed. And there's a lot of ladies who are pack and carries or whatever. And so they're all, and I can see, like, I can see why some of them feel like that they got to have a weapon like that to go out, because it's so violent. And then they say they caught the one guy, the puncher guy. There's no way it's just one guy, I don't think. And I think it's he definitely was targeting a certain age of women. Like, I didn't see any older women. I didn't see any dark-skinned women. All the women seemed to be like light-skinned, around the same age, and apparently all of them have been like distracted. And I also was thinking, because all these girls are so passive, when they get hit, they'll run the other way like they've done something wrong, which I just can't wrap my head around this. And so many people think like, oh yeah, well, what do you want them to do? They're in shock. It's like, react, like fight back. You got to have some fight in you. Just, I don't know. There's survival of the fittest, and I don't think that means who can hide the best. And like, that's one thing too, these girls have got to see. Like, you couldn't go out in nature, like, and just be distracted. You would be consumed. You would be like any animal who was out in nature who's just going around like looking at their phone. What do you think's going to happen? People have got to start realizing we're animals in a dog-eat-dog world, and a lot of people are really piled in on top of themselves. And like, think of the micro, macro, what's going on in all the shelters. That's the same thing as the city. And the city is like the shelter dogs. It's like, and these people don't care. Like, they wanted people in the cities and stuff because they wanted control. They wanted all this control. They wanted all this chaos. And they are definitely, because I saw someone else talking about it, that definitely is, these bridges taken down is definitely isolating. And there will be some more. Like, they're definitely going to isolate certain places because they're easier to manage when you don't have everybody can move around so easy. So that is a big part of all their games all the time, is to isolate us and, get us more manageable, less people. And then they can come in, they can come in with gassing us. They can come in with fucking blowing up buses, blowing up buildings, crazy people in the streets punching people, and it goes straight into weapons now, knives and everything else. So yeah, if you're gonna be in that, you gotta fucking rough it up, man. Like, gotta be ready to fight. Like, these people all need to wake up. Like, you are staying in a place that is like the jungle, baby. That is the jungle. Coming out here where the animals are is a little more peaceful. I just saw a guy, he was like in the deep mountain kind of place, and his dogs were messing with something. So we went over to see, and it was a baby bear. So he got the little baby bear, and they keep doing videos showing this little baby bear they're taking care of while they wait for the county to come. And it's like, man, we should be able to, if we find a baby bear, we should be able to raise it as our own. Not that we have to give it to the authorities, but I don't know. It would be, I guess, scary if you had a big old bear in it. But I always see this guy, like, I know there's a Russian family and they've raised a bear. And then there's another one, and I think it's a different one, but he does videos all the time with his bear. It's so cute. So, but I think any animal that gets raised with you thinking that you're its human parent will, will be more submissive to you. But also, you have to also, like, stand up to them. Like, to Stella, I have to, like, one of the things I think to her is, like, she sees me as kind of like magic. 'Cause I can jump up. I can do crazy things. I can stand on one leg. I can open things and close things. And so I can do all this magic for her. But, when she is being a brat, especially when she was little, is you have to just stand up. You stand up, and all of a sudden you're real big, and she's looking up. That is that gets her a lot more. And I know a bear, you stand up, and it's going to stand up. But when you're doing it when it's small, so it knows, like, you're the parent, you're the authority. I don't know. I mean, you could always get a bad one that turned into a wicked beast and killed you, but that would be destiny. Like, I don't know. When I saw the cute little bear, I was like, oh my gosh, wouldn't that be so cute if we could just keep it, just let it be. But yeah, they won't even let you keep little baby deers, anything. I mean, some people keep some of the stuff, but like, if they find out, like, you've got an owl or any of that kind of stuff, they'll come after you. So yeah, I don't know. This place is just all about control. I just was really thinking, that's just so weird. Like, why? Like, we're natural beings. And if we find another natural being that needs our help, that is like an interaction that is created by the universe. Like, I don't know. And then they always get us to, we have to turn it over to them. They're the authorities. Take from us. We don't know what we're doing. It's like, I don't know. I mean, there was people who had a lot less knowledge than us that were fucking training bears and lions and stuff and putting them in circuses. And I don't think all of them were abusive. Like, I think the ones that were abusive would, end up finding out that the animal would fire back at them. I think that they're smart. I think especially, I follow a lot of the little farms and homesteads and stuff like that, where people are showing all these little animals. And animals are so much smarter than people give them credit for. And the dog stuff, man, does not stop. Like, there was somebody just doing a video. Somebody took in their 18-year-old dog to a shelter to have it euthanized. Why wouldn't you take it to your vet? If you thought your dog was so sick that it needs to be euthanized, why wouldn't you take it to the vet? So they take it to the shelter so that the shelter will do it for free. And so somebody took the dog home, and but that's what they brought it in for. 18-year-old dog. Like, how can you have a dog that long? And then I was fed up with Winston in the end. I was just like, oh my God. Like, every morning you just wish that you would get up and they just would be dead already, because it was hard. That was hard. Like, he was just leaking out some cancer funk just come out of him nonstop for months. Oh my God, and the smell. And and he was struggling too. So, I was definitely like stressed out, but even when they came to put him to sleep, the only reason I even did that was because, he was having pain. He couldn't get comfortable all of a sudden, and I couldn't watch that. And him and I had been together for 12 years. And I don't know. I just can't, I don't know. Because I just look at these little dogs' faces and their little souls. You can see their little souls looking out. And I was thinking how much, like that they rely on us and trust us. Like the other day, I had to go to get the mammogram, right? And so I was gone extra time. And when I came home and I opened the door to let Stella out, she didn't come out. And so I was like, oh my gosh. And she went in the bedroom and got herself stuck in the bedroom. She does that all the time. I don't know what she does. She'll just go in the bedroom, and shut the door and get herself trapped in there. And she's always looking behind all the doors. And then she shuts the door behind her. And so then she's stuck in there. And so, she was very excited when I came home. But just, think about how what is that, vulnerable the animals are. Like they completely rely on us. And we've created that dependency. Is over here, there was some dogs that were dumped, some little puppies. And all these people keep taking their dogs to the shelters and stuff. And I kept thinking, I swear to God, it would be better to let your dog just go out and be free. Than to take it to a shelter. Like at least to let it go out and fend for itself. But the problem is that we've created this domestic dependency on us to feed them and stuff. And then when dogs have been in the wild for a long time, like wolves or coyotes, and I think even foxes, but coyotes especially. Coyotes develop, and wolves too. They both developed a way to work as a team to get their food. And so, they're very smart. But like the dogs coming out of being domesticated, they're just like, I don't know what to do. How am I supposed to eat? They're way more of scavengers. And so they need to, find food to eat or whatever. But I don't know. To me, like keep taking them to shelters and stuff is like a death sentence. And I don't know, this whole thing, and all the rescue stuff. There's so much scammy stuff with the rescue stuff. Like I just saw this video, and somebody dumped all these puppies. This whole video, oh, we got these puppies, we saved them, but now we need your help. We've got all this money. They all have parvo, and now we've got these huge vet bills. We need all these donations to pay these vet bills to save these puppies. It's like, okay, there is just, oh, I don't know. Every fucking thing, people just figure out sleazy things to do. Ways to just screw people over, ways to make money. And they just, I don't know. People are satisfied to just like have no integrity. Just it's every man for himself. In this dog eat dog world, who cares? Who cares who you fuck over? And to me, your integrity is who you are. If you have no integrity, if you just don't give a fuck about, like, I wouldn't want to be around somebody like that. I wouldn't trust them. And what is weird too is like on through this awakening is, having to wake up and see like how many people really didn't have any integrity. Just really didn't give a shit. Or just don't care. Like we got just a huge problem in our society. This shallow, artificial, not caring about other people. And the Riley thing, there's an update too where he was found with his pants off. and no water in his lungs. So his pants were off, his wallet was gone. Like, why would his pants be off? And how did it happen so fast? And in other of these footages too, there's another one where it has these cops walking back and it shows these guys carrying something and they duck off. So, you know, I don't know. Was it that they were trying to get his take a kidney or two, and that the cops came and they had to abandon and they took off, but they had doped him up or done something to him, and so he didn't live, but he was dead when he went in the water. So I don't know. And it's such a short amount of time, too, because they have it where he was walking past the cop. They've got that. Then the homeless person. Then the two cops walk back. It's like a lot of stuff happened real quick. So I don't know. Maybe they took him somewhere or something. I don't know. But all this stuff is going to be just bringing more to the surface about the shady shit. And I just say, because of it being known for roofing people, like I don't think that there's tons. I mean, I'm sure there still is guys out there who are roofing girls to take them home and stuff. But I would be way more concerned about that. I mean, that was a roofie for a guy. So I would be way more concerned about, it's pre-surgical roof. They're preparing you for something. Like, that's what I would think. That's how I take it. And then also, I guess Donald keeps saying a bunch of stuff. And what was it? He just did because it was something about TikTok. But he'll say stuff just so he can disclose something else. Because then he was talking about, Facebook and Meta taking over the fucking world, and all the money that they spend with the corruption and going against, they're bought and paid for. They're just a part of the mind control of the people, keep us trapped into. TikTok was more of an outlet, and then once Twitter turned into X, then it was more of an outlet. It isn't as controlled. And so he's just trying to make a point, I think, to let people know, like, they're trying to just control you, control your mind, control your information. So, but he's got all those things going. So, we got so there was the earthquakes. So there's just no telling. Everything is just, to me, it seems like it's going faster for sure. But I think still that it would, I hope, like, I feel like it will be something with the money thing. And it's going to be like a little bit more slower and tedious. I bet you, just because of, how the people are. I swear to God, there is, like, most of the people just have no clue. So I think, however it will go, I think it definitely will be the housing crisis. That will come back around, is it has to go full circle too. So in '08, when I was trying to speak up about it, people just had no interest in, and just like the girls being punched out in the street, there's way more run and shame, like, oh my God, I didn't pay my bills, everyone's gonna know, and so there was a lot more shame that people had when they started taking things from people. But now it's going full circle so that people can see, oh, it was fucking, like, they were pulling some shit. They're always pulling some shit. It's not us, it's them. And so, yeah, that's going to go full circle and see, but it's also going to have all this retirement collapse because all these people are invested into their retirement through the money thing. So that'll be a huge collapse. And that's where I think it's going to start. And I think Joe is going, the whole thing will go fast, I think. Like, once the money starts going, Joe will be blamed, and all eyes on Joe, and no telling, like, what it will be. It will be some kind of drama. But look at how they've drug out this stuff with the royals. Like, fuck, man. Like, how they drag shit out. Like, it's crazy. like I keep seeing stuff like with Prince Charles is dead, and then I see like, oh no, he's not dead. Yes, he is dead. Now the other one, she's gonna die. Oh no, she's not gonna die. Now her parents came out and said that no, it's all made up. William is punching her out and cheating on her and has a kid with somebody else, and she's just trying to detach herself and find a safe place and with her kids and stuff. Uh, and then Diddy now has pulled out Harry into that. So all of these are going to be all going down. And I don't know, maybe Kate is really gone home because she isn't involved and she's not a shapeshifter. Like, I don't know about all the rest of them. I don't know. I would say probably most of them are shapeshifters. Seems kind of weird, like if William and Harry came out of die, that she would be able to make shapeshifters. But I don't know. Maybe they do put some kind of hybrid, like how they do artificial insemination or something, and then they do some hybrid creature and put it in there. Maybe they do it while she's asleep or something. I know that she had talked about it before, that there's some big ceremony. It was real creepy, and the mom's involved, and blood, and all sorts of stuff. So, I don't know. That's like, I think in some kind of thing where she was telling some of her friends, like this is old stuff, like from back when she was living there with them. And she was telling her friends and stuff, like they're reptilians. These people are just shape-shifting lizards, and they eat stuff. And so and you would think that Megan and Kate, is her name Kate Middleton? Yeah, Kate has got to know. You'd think that they would know. But maybe that's why they take them all down and just get them cloned out. Maybe they tell them they're going to a spa treatment, and then they knock them out, like in Stepford Wives. If you've never watched Stepford Wives, then, and the old one, then, the husbands, it's like they start building this clone person beforehand, and then the woman gets taken over. Like the clone meets the woman, and it's like the clone kills the woman or something and takes over her life. And then she's just like, some generic creature that is just, looks like the lady, but doesn't have the same personality. And so I don't know. Because there definitely was some weird stuff like with Megan, because they moved over by Canada. They moved right by the cloning center. And then all of a sudden she's being out and she looked like a robot everywhere. I was like, that doesn't even seem like a clone. That seems like a robot. So I don't know. Like, who knows with all these people? I used to watch her on Suits too. She used to be on a TV show that I watched. So she was a real person, I thought then. And she ends up being with the Royals, and then she ends up being like some sort of robot. So I don't know. Who knows who all's going to go down with all of them. Over here, like our politicians, this is like 98% of them. Most of them are going to go down. And all these different, oh, they're being arrested. Oh, they've got sickness. Oh, they got this. It's all just a part of the show. It's all just a part of the takedown. And it's all this slow, fucking tedious takedown. But, it will whip around here sometime. And then it will pick up speed. And at least we will, have the satisfaction of not having to pay bills. But there's going to be people who are still, they're going to freak out because of the collapse of the economy. And if they do that shenanigans with the people in the upside down in their loans, but that's where the people have got to learn is like, oh, they're trying to take everybody's house. I'll just sit here and sit tight. Let's just ride this storm out until it finishes. But people get caught up and panic. I swear to God, that's what all of these texts and emails and shit to me was to try and get me to panic and sell them my house to, find the most, the best way out. So they're there to help me. Because poor me, I don't know what I'm going to do. And to me, it's like, I'm doing this on purpose because I think you guys are fucking corrupt bullshit. And I'm, trying to be a part of the fucking takedown. Like, fucking drown these banks. Like, fuck them. Fuck these bankers. So I'm gonna be on that side of it. And, and I'm willing to put all my cards in. It's like, but it's not all my cards because I have been preparing for their collapse. And that is another thing too, is like, man, people, yeah, like they think that sounds so wacky. It's like, well, you can't get them to see it. That's where you got to see, like, that is their lessons. It's part of their lessons to go through the experience, to lose, to have things taken, to go through the fear, the disappointment, whatever all their things are. It's their stuff. And so, yeah, you can't convince anybody. They've just got to see it for themselves. So, anyways, I feel like now, though, I don't feel stressed about, like, because May, it seemed like, fuck, man, May, that sounds so far. It sounds like I don't know that we're going to get out of April. I didn't think we'd get out of March before the fucking collapse. But now they've got so much built up around the eclipse in April and stuff. And they did this with Y2K and other things. So, it could be a big nothing. But there will still be that big disappointment with so many people because they'll set up this whole thing. Oh, there's going to be all this stuff that's going to happen. Then all these people will be like, all like prepared and scared. And then nothing will happen. And they'll be like, oh, so mad. It's like, you guys, they are getting you to be distracted or something. You cannot focus on dates. You cannot focus. We'll know the date once it happens. Once it happens, then we'll know when it's going to happen. Until then, it's like it could be right now. It could be any moment of any day. Anything can happen, and it's going to happen until it happens. It's not gonna go away just because we go past that date. It's not gonna be like, oh well, now nothing's gonna happen. No, like, it just blows my mind. It's like, just because nothing has happened doesn't mean that nothing's happening. It's going to keep going until all this happens. Everything is going to collapse. There's going to be cities that are going to be rubble. There's going to be, the water is going to rise. There's going to be a lot of people who are going to leave. They're going to leave the game. They're not going to stick with it. There's going to be a huge shift. And then once this stuff starts going, once Joe starts going, the money starts going, and it starts, oh, this person was involved in this. This person was involved in this. Look what they did. They sent this money over there. They did this. They did that. It's going to be so much. And it's going to be like, oh, they're going down. They're going down. They're going down. But a lot of these people are already down. This is just the show to show them go down. But a lot of the people are already down. Like, this stuff has already happened. And so it's going to happen. We're in the replay. We're in the exposing time. We're in the now sit back and watch. So all of our politicians, I don't think there's going to be hardly any left, but that is going to be like where we're going to reevaluate everything. We're not going to go back under a governing system like that. Nisara Gasara is way more about independence. And so, there will be communities that will have structure. So it's not going to be just like complete no structure. But, if you want to live with no structure, you will be able to. There was plenty of people who lived out, pardon me. There was plenty of people who lived way out from towns. They didn't have anybody watching over them. They just lived their lives, did their thing, So there will be places that will be like that. All of this control that was created was to control, like it was created to control us, to be over us. So nobody has to live like this. So now, we have to get other people to really realize that they don't have to live like this. So it's that whole, like, I don't know how it's all going to go. There's so many people, they just are, it's like they're so trapped in a dependent state. It's like that they have such a problem being independent. They're just completely dependent. Yeah, because that was something about the message I'd said. The one, it was kind of coming back to me for a second. Because because the people all feel so much like that all the things that they need that the government provides. Oh yeah, now the dollar store is going to the $7 store. Now everything's gonna be $7. And I was just thinking about that. I don't know if I talked about it yesterday, but I was just thinking about like yesterday about the dollar store and thinking it's because when I went to to get the mammogram, and I was driving past one and I had less money, and so I was like, oh, I could go to the dollar store and buy 40 or 50 items, or go to the grocery store and buy, I don't know, 10 or 20 items. And and thinking about how many people do have to go with quantity. They don't go with quality. They totally go with quantity. And so they make the choice to go to the dollar store. And I was thinking, well, the dollar store is going to jack up their prices. It's not going to stay a dollar. It's got a hold on this. So they can, and like I had said, I don't know that all of the products are to the same standard as what we expect too. So there's a lot of shady shit around the dollar store. So I don't know. But now, it's going to expose that side of itself. Goodwill too. Oh my gosh, people are going to Goodwill and showing like Goodwill is taking free stuff and selling it for like 70, 80, 90, $100. It's like, oh my gosh. But see, that is their intention, is to screw us over. Their intention isn't to be a community and, be a part of, here, we'll recycling, we'll take some old stuff and we'll give it to some other people and sell it to them cheap. No, they're not any part about community and helping people out and stuff. No. So all people's intentions are being shown. So people that are like hateful, people that are insecure, people that are angry, like everything that is in the person, it's like you can't hide it. It's just going to come to the surface. And I think there's probably people who are trying to hide some things, and they're probably frustrated because they can't. And but that is the parts of you that has to learn to be vulnerable and take chances and show yourself and get comfortable showing yourself, to stop being so thinking something's wrong with you, like you've got to hide some part of yourself. Like, I mean, we should all be able to just sit out here and just talk online and talk to each other. None of us should feel insecure. Like, there's no reason. But, so many people. Oh, and, the one girl who did that video and she was crying and she was saying, I know I'm ugly. You guys tell me, and I just wish someone would tell me how to put on makeup so I could try and look pretty too. I want to look pretty. It's really sad. And like I said, I mean, she kind of like I feel like she holds her face like kind of weird, like, ooh. But the only thing is, like, she's got like that small chin. And then, I don't know. I just feel like, there's people who have some features that they can't stand. Like, I couldn't stand my cheeks. That's all I could see on my face all the time. I could sit there and look and look and look, and that's all I could see. I couldn't see anything but those fucking cheeks. And it was because of my own insecurity. So I focused on what I didn't like. And so it's like, instead of focusing on what you don't like the part of your face where it's like, God, I can't stand that. Focus on something you do like. Like, find something, like she has nice hair. Like, really fix her hair. She could do her eye makeup. And, and then plus so much is hidden in your attitude. If you're happy and you have a fun attitude and you're not sitting there sad and feeling sorry for yourself and, I'm not pretty enough and stuff, your attitude tells everything. Like, there can be people who, yeah, they may feel insecure and feel like, oh, well, if I looked prettier, I could get a whole bunch of different guys or girls or whoever, and think that that would make them happy, but they don't realize, like, oh, I won't make you happy. And but the just shining and not letting the little things bother you, like, like, I got jacked up teeth, my teeth are all crooked, and not letting that bother you. Just, smile and be happy, and that's what shines. I think then your soul starts shining, and your joy and your happiness, and and are such a part of us that really needs to get out of the idea of what the illusion is, like where the people, like, for her to even consider herself to be homely. Like, what is the comparison to? Like, they have us all like comparing. And then don't forget too, because even like a thing like with the chin thing, there would be a whole group of people that you would find somewhere in history, or some group of alien that comes from somewhere. Like these different things, they all come from somewhere. Like you have a group of people out there that are similar looking to you. And I know a lot of times people feel like, they're the only one. I know I felt like that. I felt like I was the only person who had giant cheeks in school. Anytime someone would talk about them or say anything, like I just felt like there was constantly being put down. Like, hey, Jolly Green Giant, what do you like? It was just rude shit all the time. And so you go through a period of time where you are super insecure, and you feel like, you're a weirdo and everything's you're weird looking, and you just have to get over it. You just have to be like, okay, well, so am I going to just sit here and just, how am I going to live my life? I've got to make the best of it. And so, whatever it is, the anomaly you have that you don't like, just know that there is like a group of people, like genetically somehow, that you're linked to, that all have that. And they would be happy if you were just shining it, just being like happy, like, yes, I come from a long line of chinless people. We don't need a chin. Like, why do you need a chin? Just because you need a chin doesn't mean we need a chin. Like, that's the attitude you got to have. Like, I've got some strong people behind me, and we don't like chins, so fuck your chins. But it was sad because then she got all this attention, and so all these like hairdressers and makeup people and stuff, so everybody wanted to help her, sending her makeup, sending her tips. A hair place in her area had her come down, so I guess she was getting a lot of attention, a lot of followers and stuff. And so I don't know, jealousy came to the surface, and somebody called DCS on her. And so she came home from the hair place. She's sitting out in her car doing a video crying now because somebody turned her into DCS, and now she had to go in and face them. It's like, what in the hell? Why can't people just mind their business? Why can't people just go out and have their experiences and think about how much, you're living your experience? There's always somebody who thinks that they can do your experience better than you. People always think, they know what you should do. They know how you should do it, where you should do it, what you should do, because they can do it better than you. It's like, well, you probably need to focus on your experience and get your nose up out of my experience, because you can't do my experience better than me for one goddamn thing. It's my experience, they're my lessons, and I came here to learn it. And one thing too is you got to remember that people are not going to see you past the projection of what they see. Like, that was one thing with my daughter when I was talking. I was like, I mean, this conversation will go nowhere. I can't get past the projection that she sees of me. Like, this has to collapse so she can see the person who's standing there. Like, you can't hear me, you can't see me, you don't know what I'm talking about, yet you sit in judgment of me. And that, so, is that definitely that thing of like, for they know not what they do. You just got to let go of this stuff. You got to let the universe is going to show them all. And when the universe is going to, it's going to dead ass center, bring it to the surface. It's going to show them all. And also it's like, whatever the situations are, like them not seeing their mom, for instance, them keep thinking their mom is different than she is. Then when they see her, when whatever happens and they see me, then that will be, it will be hard on them, because they will feel like, what was wrong with me? Why couldn't I see what was wrong with me? So there'll be a lot of people who will go through that. And, but all of the people who, it's like that soul group, Like I'm meant to affect a certain amount of people. Like we all, like there's like there's like these little, like the lights, like the grid or something, and like certain, like all the people who are the light in the dark, because there's all the huge group of people who are real trapped in the dark. And it's not like the light people are better or anything. It's just the roles. We're just here playing roles. And so the light people, they're less of them. And so, because all these people get to play out their darkness so that they get to wake up so that they can heal it. So all of these things are allowed. I mean, it's not allowed. It's like everything is allowed. It's just you have to put it back in order. If you put it out of order, you got to put it back in order. So, but everything's allowed. And so, but all of the light, so all of the people who are the light, which I'm sure tons of you guys are, the people who are awake, who are listening to weirdos like me. And so the people who are the light, so all of you who has, how people are looking at you like you're crazy, you don't know what you're talking about, you're doing weird stuff, whatever it is that people around you are looking at. When the light comes on, see, you will affect all of them, because all of them will just suddenly see things differently, because you gave that. It's like you give the screen. It's like you give the counter for it to bounce off of. So it's like a new vision comes from that. But all of us all have like a group of people, like a pretty big group of people that it's going to affect. It's going to ripple out. So it's not just like, oh, well, my kids will see. No, it's going to be way more than that. It's going to be like, just watch and see. There's going to be like a huge ripple that is going to go out from the people who have been awake. And it's not like where we have to do something. It is because we've already done it. It's all been seed planting. So it's going to be like when all of a sudden, when the lights come on, all the people are going to see things differently, but there's like a certain direction they're all going to be looking. And it has to do with whatever it is that they're here to work on. Like the people who are in my family, say. And then when the lights come on, and all of a sudden they see me differently than how they saw me, then they have to go in and question themselves, like, why couldn't I see? Why couldn't I hear what she was really saying? Why couldn't I understand what she was trying to tell me? Why did I keep putting up blocks? Why did I keep standing? Why did I keep looking at her like this? Why, you know what I'm saying? And so they all have to go through their process. So they'll all have different ones, but it's like there's like a link somehow. It's like, I don't know how to explain it, but it's like certain people have certain things to work out, and they're worked out with certain people. Like there's going to be people who you don't have any like memory of that you're going to affect. And it can be like through word of mouth and stuff. So it's going to just be this shift. It's just going to be this shift, and everything's going to turn. And when everything's turned, all of a sudden, what was crazy is going to be, sane. And what was sane was going to be embarrassing. So it's going to be like a big shift. But that's one thing that they just keep showing me. Like there's going to be people who you're not even going to realize you're affecting. Like you think like, well, I'll finally be able to talk to my son, or I'll finally be able to do that. No, it's going to be way bigger than that. There's going to be way more people that are really going to be affected. Like a lot of people are going to have people turning to them, looking to them for answers and sanity and, security. It is like a lot of the people who are the light are going to be like the buoys for people to hang on to, because things are going to be so unstable or destabilized in people's minds. Oh yeah, it was the what's that called? Sleepwalking. Because I was doing this video this morning on there, and it was like about sleepwalking, and I was thinking, so when sleepwalkers, like, because you're not supposed to wake them up, and I lived with a sleepwalker, and so they'll go do weird shit. They'll get up and go and walk, and then they'll go to a place like a plant. They'll go to the fridge. They'll go in the stove, anything. Open it and just stand there and pee. Like they'll think they're somewhere else. So they'll think they're in the bathroom and they could be just standing there peeing. I've seen people pee in the middle of the room. And so they get like lost in their consciousness somehow. So I was like, you know what this is going to be like? Is like, because it's not like we can wake them up. So we can't wake up the people who are asleep, because it is like they're sleepwalking through life. And so, and that is not because they're NPCs. It's because they're in lower chakra. They haven't healed their stuff. They're just dormant. They're just trying to survive. They haven't gone into the next phase. So but it will be like if a sleepwalker wakes up and is standing there peeing in the fridge, it's like, what the fuck am I doing? That is what it's going to be like. There is going to be so many people. They're going to be like, what the fuck am I doing? Where am I? What am I doing? What am I doing here? What? It's going to be very confusing to a lot of people. A lot of people are going to be embarrassed and humiliated. Like, what am I doing peeing in the plant? It's going to be hard. And a lot of adults are going to be super embarrassed and humiliated for the choices they made, because they're going to be so confused. Like, well, why couldn't I see it? Why couldn't I understand it? And the whole thing is because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to until you do. And the reason it goes and plays out that way is because your lesson plan has to do with it playing out the way it plays out. It's not supposed to play out in a different way. It's supposed to play out exactly the way it plays out. But that is going to be a really hard thing for people to come to terms with and to understand. They're going to fight against it. They're going to be upset. So anyways, when you are being that, that buoy, or, just a Kleenex box, like, here, have another tissue, just remember, like, where they're coming from is like such a confused state. And so, all you can kind of do is just keep trying to reassure them and just keep telling them, like, this is what we've all gone through. This is what it is to wake up. This is what it is to come to a conscious state, and when you've been living in an unconscious state. And we've all done it. We all lived in an unconscious state. It was part of what the program was. It was part of what we were supposed to do. And then we're all supposed to go through the awakening and go through the healing. And so then that's the one thing too, is people have got to realize, because you see these people talking about like raising your vibration and stuff. The way you raise your vibration is to heal your stuff. You got to let it go. That is what lightens you up. That is where you start feeling lighter. You vibe higher because you're letting go of things. You're releasing things. You're letting go of the concept of who you thought you were. That's a big one, because you got to go through so much stuff of releasing. Why did I do that? Well, why did I think that way? Well, why? You just got to break it down. And through the process, release the demons, face them and release them. And then you're going to raise your vibration. Then you're going to feel better. Then you're going to feel lighter and happier. And then remember too, it's like the only reason that you don't like something about your face is because you're comparing it to someone else. And that we got to get away from this comparing ourselves all the time, and comparing our faces, and it's way more about learning how to accept our faces, accept our bodies, accept our hair, accept all these parts of us. And I just saw this video of this girl, and she had just gotten her extensions out, and she said her hair's just jacked. It's all thin, and she was very upset, and she was going to leave them out and not do her extensions because she was like, man, I got to heal my hair. And she said it was so bad she couldn't handle it. She's going to get more. See, that's the trap they get you in. You got to go through the part where it sucks. Once you get through the part where it sucks, you just focus on, like, if you take out your extensions and you're just like, oh, fuck, my hair is jacked. There's a price to pay. You know, there's a price to pay for artificial bullshit. And so, you know, that's why I'm going to pay a huge price to get this artificial bullshit taken out of me. And I can't wait. Fucking countdown, man. And, but that is where you have to, you know, face that stuff, face those, the parts of you that are trying to hide and are embarrassed and insecure so that you can, move on, move forward. And I think I might have interrupted myself and forgot what I was saying, but I don't know if I finished the sentence. I still is under her light. Sometimes, you know, I think that light thing is making a difference. And she has been doing so much more with jogging and running and stuff. I think she's doing really good. And I think that the sores are getting better. I'm going to keep her on the goat stuff. And see if that keeps doing it. And then what was it? There was something else I was thinking that, oh, the red light. Maybe that was the other thing. I was like, because I really think that the red light too is helping with the healing, because it seems like that. Yeah, but she's already was taking the other stuff at the same time. So, but it does seem like that she's getting the sores are going away, her cysts and stuff. The one on the back of her leg is pretty big, so I'll have to see. But I kept thinking, man, I swear to God, it looks like it's a little smaller. So, anyways, but I really like this red light thing. Like, I wish I would have known more about that. So, there's a whole thing about the healing red light spectrum, and this light was only like $30. And I got it off Amazon, and it's a 225. Like, it has all different. And I read the reviews, and a lot of people are saying that they had good results with the 225. So I was like, okay, it's $30. I can try that and try it out and always work my way up. I have only been in front of it for a few minutes, a couple of times, but it's on a lot. But I think you have to be like right up to it. So I'll still put it up and put it on my face and stuff. But I think I just would say all the things that I would recommend at this point is 100% of drinking out of the copper cup, cooking off the cast iron, getting the mineral salts, detoxing. I can't even believe how many people I see talking about their health issues. And it's all of these different people. It's like, dude, do a parasite cleanse, do a fucking detox, get the chemicals out, and then start taking in minerals. All these people's health would change. They all think, oh, well, I've got MS, I've got lupus, I've got this, I've got that. You've got fucking poison. Like, everybody has got to take control of their fucking life and their fucking health. And so many people just sit around whining, somebody save me, somebody help me, somebody give me something. It's like, you know, we're going into independence. So that is just a step down. Somebody save me, somebody help me, somebody save me. That is a part of, you know, for the people to see for themselves, see that side of themselves. So when things turn, that they go like, I'm sure some will be like, oh my God, I was sitting there, kept saying, help me, help me, help me. And I should have just been helping me. I shouldn't have been wasting time. I could have done this. I could have done that. I could have tried this. Like, things will open up, and suddenly more will be seen. And then they'll start seeing, and then they'll be mad at themselves. Why didn't I see sooner? Why didn't I do this sooner? Why didn't I, and that's a part of the learning too. You got to learn everything about the destiny, timing, what you're here to learn. You learn where you're supposed to be, you are, and everything that happens has an exact moment in time. So you can't rush it. You can't make things happen. You can't turn it up. You can't change it. You're along for the ride. And, and it's to show, like, can you make the best of it? What can you do? And, and it's all different levels. Like I've said, we're all playing on different levels of this game. Some people are, to me, I know on this one thing, I'm on this one part of this level of this, like this soul. It's like this soul that we come in over and over and over and find each other. And so, I'm just waiting for them to say, hey, see ya. And then, because I know that's what we do. I know that we come in over and over and find each other. And so I think there's going to be a lot of that too. I think there's going to be a lot of people who are going to be like, We're just going to go on it to another level. It's just like things are going to make a big twist and we're going to go to another level. The game is really going to level up. And so this is your practice time to get you prepared, for the big leveling up. And you got to, work on your game. Work on your game and work on loving yourself and loving everyone and have a loving day. And I'll talk to you later. Bye.